Alright, so this is a new year and I got a new mic, so let me know how that sounds. And today what we're going to end up doing is we are going to look at Unraid and we're going to install MariaDB. So if that sounds good to you, let's get started. Alright, so what we need to do here is to come over here to the Docker containers, and we're going to look here and we notice we don't have MariaDB installed. So to install that, we're going to go over here to our apps, and then we're going to just look for MariaDB, and then we're going to hit that. And we have two versions over here, this one and this one over here. So we have the MariaDB and the MariaDB official. I personally like to download the official ones whenever possible. So that's what we're going to do today. So if I go ahead and hit install, we have the name up here, we have the MariaDB. For the network type, I'm going to put mine as custom databases. You can leave yours at the default, it doesn't really matter. I just have a custom network that I'm going to put this on. So if I go down here, this is your standard port. Just make sure it doesn't conflict with anything, and if it does, you can change it. Generate random password. I'm going to take this out because I don't want MariaDB to do a random password and I have to go in the logs and look for it. So I'm going to take the yes out, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. I just don't want that. The database name, database user, and database password. So this is if I want to set this up and I already have a database in there. I don't want to do that. I want to just have more control over it and do it from the command line. So I'm just going to hit remove, remove, and remove. And if you want to put yours in there and have a database like right from the get-go, be my guest. I'm just not doing it. And then we're going down here to show more settings. This is my root password, and this is where I put my password in. So if you remember up earlier, the removed is we could have put yes and it would have done a random password. We're going to do this right here because I like to be in control of my passwords. So let me just put a password in there and hit apply. And my password for this is actually root, and you'll see that here in a minute. When this goes up, it doesn't mask it out on the container build. So if you ever shoot a video, just be cautious of that. It will show you password because like right here, my root password is root. I'm blowing this away after this, so it doesn't really matter. But I just want to kind of show you if you put in your password and you kind of forgot what it was, it's a quick way to kind of see what it is. We'll go ahead and hit done here, and then we'll go back to our Docker containers and we'll go over here to our MariaDB official, and we can go to the logs and we just look at it and it says it's ready for startup. Everything looks good, so we'll just go ahead and close that out. Go back in here. We don't have a web interface. We got to do everything from the console. So we'll just go ahead and hit console. And then we'll blow this up for a little bit where everyone can see it. All right, so we're blown up. Here, we're in the console. So how do we get to the database? Well, we're going to type in MariaDB because it's the MariaDB. And we're going to do -u for user. And then we're going to do root. And then -p for password. And then we're going to enter the password, and for this example it's just root, and we're in. So now that we're in, we can show our databases to see what databases that we have in there. Don't forget our semicolon. And I have an arrow, so why? Oh, because I misspelled database. Show databases, and we'll hit semicolon, and then there we are. So we see the databases. We have the information schema, the MySQL performance, and the SYS, and it's best to leave all these tables alone. So let's create a database. So we're going to create a database, and we're going to call it test. Alright, so now we created a database, we called it test, and to see it again, we just go back to show databases. And then there it is, right there at the bottom of the test. Now, what we do is, the next thing we can do is, let's see what kind of users we have on here already. So we can go select users, and then we want the host, and then we want from, and I know it's in the MySQL dash user, so it's in the MySQL and then it's in the user table, is basically what that's telling me. So it's in, like I said, MySQL, and then inside there's a user table. And then there we are. You can see inside this table we have the root, and that's going to be our user ID. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have a user that we're going to have other people, like another person's account, because obviously we don't want everyone coming in here as root. So what we want to do is we want to create a user, and we'll just call him test user at, and then we want the local host right here, because we're going to be only using him to log in at the local host. If we wanted to do the have him be able to log in remotely, we can do the percentage, but right now we're just doing this local, so we're going to keep everything as local host. Then we're going to identify by, and then this is where we put the password in. So we're just going to put user password, and I know that's not secure, but that's what we're going to do. Semicolon. And now that we have it in there, we got the command that says it's okay. So the next thing we want to end up doing is we're going to go back to select the user and the host from, MySQL dash user semicolon. And then there we have it up there. So we have our test user down here where they can log into local host. So let's see what kind of permissions we have on him. So we go to the grants. We want to show grants for test user at localhost semicolon. And then we just really have the grant usage on test user. So that's not giving us access to that new database that we created. So what we want to do is we want to grant permissions to that user. So to do that, we're just going to hit grant all on test.star. Okay, so that's going to give me all the permissions in the test database, is what that's going to do. Now we could just grant select if we want. Just in this demo, I'm just doing all just to make it easy. And then let's see, you have to define a user. Test user at localhost semicolon. Alright, so now we're there. So now if we go to show grants for test user at localhost, we see here grant all privileges on test to localhost. So now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to quit, and then I'm going to log back in. So I'm going to go to Maria, if I can spell right, MariaDB, and then my user was the test user, and -p for the password. And then my password was user password. And let me try that again, because I think I fat finger the key -u test user dash p user password. Okay, so I entered the password wrong that first time, but that's okay. So now if I do show database, and see, I only see 2 databases for this user, and that's okay because we only granted the database test to this user. So now that test doesn't have any tables in it, so let's go ahead and create a table in there. So just for the sake of time and me not messing up typing, I'm just going to paste this in here real quick. And basically I'm creating a table. I'm naming it Star Wars. I have my primary key that's going to be an integer, and it can't be null, and it's going to auto increment. Then I have the character name, which is a variable character of 100, and then the side, which is the variable character of 100, and the primary key, which is going to be this mypk. And the side is going to be like the affiliation. I just kind of, didn't want to spell affiliation out, so I just put side. And no database selected. Well, that's because we got to do use database, and then we named it test. So I forgot to declare it to use the database test. So it says access denied for user test user at localhost to database test. Oh, because I don't have to have database in there. I just use test. There we go. Database changed. So I made a mistake. So just put in use test. I just was trying to be explicit when I didn't have to. So it's not use database test. It's just use test. And then what we can do is let's see what we want to do here. Now that we're in here, we'll go back and we'll just go ahead and run that command again. So this is just going in there to create the table. And then there it is. Now we have that table created. Now I'm going to want some information in those tables. So basically I'm going to run a couple of inserts command. So I'm going to insert into the Star Wars table a character name and the side. And the values for this is going to be like Luke Skywalker, and then he's a rebel. Now, I didn't have to put in the primary key because that's an auto number, so it's automatically going to add that number on every insert command. So I'm going to hit enter, and then there it is. Now, if I go select star from Star Wars, because that's the name of my table, and star is just selecting everything. And I have that one user that's in there. So let's add a couple more into this table, and we are going to go ahead and paste that. This is entering Darth Vader Empire, and then we're going to add another one, and this is just Han Solo Rebel. And then if we do a select star from Star Wars, we'll see that we have 3 in there. Like we have Luke, Darth, and Han, and we have Rebel, Empire, Rebel. So let's just say that we just want to know who the rebels are. We can easily do select star from Star Wars where side equals Rebel. There we go. And then we'll hit semicolon. And see, now it only brings back, the rebel like in there. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to run a few commands to show you that it got up and running. And, obviously, sometimes you'll make a mistake like I did up here by saying use database test. We don't have to do that. It's just use test. It knows that we're looking for the database. But anyway, just go in there and play with it, learn a little bit, and have fun. All right, I'll talk to you next time.